Good morning, good morning, good morning. I got a new interesting one here for you. I've had a number of people reach out to me, and I've been talking to a couple of people about this. It's a game called DeFi Kingdoms. It is not on the Wax blockchain, which is the reason I've kind of hesitated on this one a little bit. But it is over on the Harmony One blockchain, and eventually will be multi-chaining with a number of other blockchains here in the future. I've been really hesitant because I like to keep my games within Wax, with a few exceptions on the Gala platform. But they've been just talking this up, and I've went out and I've done my research, and there's a lot that I like about this game, not just from a the current state of the game perspective, but also just the timelines and the roadmap going forward, branching out into other blockchains, trying to be one of those old school fantasy type of games I used to play in like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo. It reminds me a lot of like the original Final Fantasy. So I wanted to go out there and I wanted to go ahead and dive through it. I'm just starting out in the game. So this will be a new series on my channel. I'm going to try and provide updates once or twice a week. I'm going to approach it from the I'm a new, come along with me standpoint, not the I'm the expert in everything. So I'm going to tell you exactly how it goes. So you're going to go along with me in the journey. I encourage you, if you want to, you can go ahead and join me in the journey, but I'm not going to push you. Obviously, check it out, see how I'm going through. There's a lot to come from this game. What we're going to do on today's video is we'll do a quick white paper review, and we'll briefly jump into the game. And I mean briefly, because I want to do a number of other like breakdowns of each of the sections. So this is what it is. It's uh, DeFi Kingdoms. I can never say DeFi right. I always call it DeFi instead of DeFi. Um, like I said, it is a fantasy role-playing type of game. It's still very early, but it's very popular on the Harmony One blockchain, which again is something new. I am not going to go through a tutorial on how to get it, to set up your MetaMask, to get the one coin, which is the Harmony One coin, get that into the game. There are about 100 tutorials out there on YouTube, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I want to show the gameplay. I want to show you what I'm actually doing in the game, and you can make decisions on your own whether you want to. As per usual, this is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. But let's go ahead and dive into it. You can see right away that the graphics are very old school. If you're looking for something with awesome graphics, this is not the, the one you're going to look for. I'm just going to quick go through the website a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and jump in. You can see right here from old school Final Fantasy, uh, early early Nintendo vibe to it. Um, there is a full roadmap, but I'm not going to dive into that now. Let's jump over to the white paper itself. Trying to keep this one short for y'all. All right, as far as the gameplay goes, right now there's a number of aspects in the game. From you can do some questing, you can do some farming, you can buy heroes, you can put them to work, you can actually hire other people's heroes out, all types of things like that. You can even blend. They call it blending. Well, they call it summoning. It's a form of blending, but you don't actually lose your initial heroes. Essentially, you have two heroes, and they work together, and they summon a new one, a new hero, based on whatever. Let me scroll down to it. Based on the branch that you may be in. For example, you have a warrior and a knight, and they could together. You have a chance at a paladin, and so forth. You essentially need different uh, two different heroes. They summon. They're only allowed to summon a certain amount of time. The generation zero summoners can summon quite a few. Once you get into the higher generations, they can only summon maybe once or twice, so they're not really here for the summoning perspective. And it also adds a limitation to the number of heroes that can be in the game, which is a nice little aspect that they have there, have have in it. Let me go back here. Like I said, there's the rarities, the normal ones, common through mythic, um, based on the the heroes that you're using to doing the summoning. These are the percent chances that you have in order to get the rarity. For example, obviously the higher rarity, if you have two mythics going together, you have a much higher rarity or a higher chance of getting the higher rarity items. The other neat thing is that each of the heroes that come out there, they have stats, and the stats are actually useful. It's not just, oh, we have this, they'll calculate together and you'll get this much reward. Each one has its own purpose, from hit points to stamina. Staminas are used for quests. You run out of stamina throughout the day. It does regenerate, but you can't do anything else until it regenerates. All of the different stats here that we're showing, endurance, vitality, dexterity, strength, they all go together in the type of hero that you have. I keep wanting to say warrior, but the type of hero that you have. And as I mentioned, they have the different rarities that you're going through. I already showed this. I'm not sure why they had that in there twice. But you also have the leveling aspect of a game. A lot of games on the Wax blockchain don't necessarily have that yet. They are starting to get there. They're trying, but this adds the leveling, has the experience again, just like an old school game, that you're trying to level up to get them stronger. And as you level them up, you have to buy runes in order to do the leveling, and then you can even, their stats, you can start boosting them. You can choose which ones that you want to boost up, to make the character the way you want. There's different builds that you can do. There's some types of characters are stronger than other types of characters. We'll dive into all that in the future. And then, as I mentioned, there's quests. They can run right now 4 different types of quests. I'm gonna actually skip over to those. They call them professions. There is the foraging, gardening, mining, and fishing. And depending on your hero, they'll be better in one than the other. Some are specialized. For example, the one I'll show you here in a second, I have is specialized in gardening. So if I put them in gardening, it'll be cheaper stamina wise and could potentially get better results from it. So they have, which that's another neat thing as far as those features go. I'll scroll through this quickly because again, we'll go in this more detail. The foraging and the fishing give you different items in game right now. The gardening and the mining give you more of the in-game token. So that's one thing, and all of them give you experience, and in all of them you have the chance of bumping your skills up as far as your professions up. All right, I won't dive through all those. Already talked about this briefly. I'll dive into these again in the future. Let me just jump right into the game. Um, like I mentioned, this is on the Harmony One network. I think, yeah. Sorry, jumping back and forth. This is what the game looks like when you first log in. You have the ability to select your avatar. Um, Again, they're not very pretty. If the very old school graphics. This is the one I picked. It just looks like a guy with a suit of armor. These are the main areas. At first, when you first get into the game, there's 3 areas that you should take a look at. The first area is the marketplace, because you'll come into the game with the Harmony One token, which is called the One. It's a One token. If you go in here and you go to the trader, this allows you to uh, swap your One token with the in-game currency, which is the jewels. The jewels allow you to buy heroes. They allow you to stake your jewels to earn a passive income. Um, what I did when I joined the game, I went in here, I had roughly about, I think it was about 1,200 one coins. I split it right in half, came in here, put it in half in one, half in jewels. And there's a reason I did that because as of right now, at least from what I've heard and read, the best way for newcomers to earn is in the gardens, which is the second area that you're going to go to. Once you have your jewels and your one coin, you come over here to the gardens, and this is where they have liquidity pools. Essentially, what you're going to do is you invest your tokens, and you need you need basically equal value of one coin to or to jewel coins, or they have a number of other liquidity pools that you can go into. I just went with the jewels and the one. Um, Again, they don't have a wax option, so I had to select the one. the friends that I were talking to mentioned that one is probably is a good one to go into, especially when you're starting out. It's the one coin is relatively cheap, so you can get, like I said, I had 1,200 one coin, and I got that I think at 250, somewhere in that range, dollars. Um, and then the jewel you were able to switch in. Basically, you invest in liquidity pools, and they have these insane APRs right now. And I'll do another video detailing this out, that obviously the APRs are going down as more people are investing and as time is going on. Apparently, when the city started, they had 1,000 APRs to really boost and try and help people out with uh, basically their accounts, and also start distributing the jewel coin in the game. They're trying to not just dump it all in the market one time. They're trying to extend it as long as possible. You'll see the locked section here. The way it was explained to me was every week or so, the locked percentage goes down. Let me see if I can see here. It's not going to show it. Um, the percentage of the coin that's locked. Yeah, it's not showing me the percentage. I think I actually have to go in and buy a coin for it, which I don't have the extra right now. That goes down by 1%. So basically, I think it's around June or July, then the coins will be completely unlocked from the staking perspective. But this is from again, I'm sorry, I'm getting into the weeds here. Um, Basically, this is the easiest way to make coin passively when you're new. You don't need a ton of it. Obviously, the more you have, the better. You want to find a stable one. I went with Joel and one uh, purely on the recommendation of a friend. Do your own research, pick one that's best for you. I have it in here now, so I'm making a little bit. It's nothing to write home about. I did just replenish it here recently. I only have about I think it's 120 liquidity coins in there, so I'm making this. It's a decent amount. All right, so I won't dive into that again. I'm going in the weeds a little bit. That's one way you can earn. The other way you can earn is by getting heroes and sending them on quests. I'll do another video on how you get heroes. But there are different professions. Like I said before, you have the gardener, forager, miner, and fisherman. The one that I have is a gardener. So if I go ahead and click on here and start quest, it gives me the options in order to do this. And the one thing you have to be careful of is there are actually two different versions of the game. There is the beta version. If you look up here in the URL, it is beta.defykingdoms.com. And then there is where is it? There is the game. The game is the default. When you go to this first page and you click on play, it takes you to the game. And the difference with the game is the garden and the mining are not available in the traditional game that they have out there. The devs have given players access to the beta, what potentially could be in the game in the future. And in the beta version, sorry, I keep jumping around. The beta version actually has the beta version of the gardening and the mining. So if you have a hero that can focus on mining, you can either do jewels or you can do gold mining. Um, they interconnect between the two. The only difference is that these features in the beta may or may not go into the live version eventually, but everything you earn in beta, you also have in the live version. So that was something that caught me off guard when I first tried it out. But this is another way to make income. Basically, what I will do, and I'll go ahead and kick it off here, is for every one stamina, I can go, I think it's 10 minutes. And that earns me a very, very, very small percentage of jewel. And I think it's based on what you currently have invested in the garden, the pool that I showed you just a little bit ago. And you can only select ones that you have investments in. So as I mentioned before, I have the jewel one liquidity pool invested in. I don't have any of these others, so I cannot assign heroes to those. I can only assign a hero here, and then you select your hero. And this is what I was talking about before. This is the general hero you get. This is a common. I bought it just recently. You have the summons. I can still summon 5 here. Stamina. I have 7 stamina to use, And the XP, this is where the leveling comes into play. I bought this guy in the tavern, so he's already level 2, which is nice. And then if you flip over the card, it gives you all the details with the card, and you can see that my main profession that has the highest level is gardening. So that's where I want to spend most of my time. And then as I level up, I'll be able to level up these other characteristics. So let's go ahead and end this video with me putting him to work. There we go. I can do basically 7 segments, which is 10 minutes per segment, so 70 minutes. And then I begin gardening. Not sure if you can see it. It is going to pull up my MetaMask on the side here. It's going to ask me to confirm. It's cost this is a little different than Wax. You have the gas fees if you're not familiar with any gaming platforms outside of Wax. Every time you do a transaction in the game, it costs you a small fee. And in Wax, the nice thing that we had was you stake, and you can actually get that Wax back when you pay for gas fees in the other whatever number gaming platforms there are. You lose that gas fee. That's one of the reasons I was attracted to Wax. But this is it in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm going to add this. Going to continue to do videos on this. I like it, especially initially. I'm going to continue to try it. I'll continue to let you all know how I like it. If it's something that you like, obviously do your research and take a little more of a deeper look in there. It just reminds me of the old school Final Fantasy, which I loved when I was younger. So I'm definitely going to be playing this and checking it out. I hope you all enjoy this kind of content. Comment down below if you are playing Defi Kingdom and how you like it. All right, I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.